What's up, baby? How you doing? Welcome to episode 12 of the Daily Grind here on YouTube, the YouTube edition. Ding. Hey man, we got some great content. Today was a Q&A session with the Grind Gang. So if that sounds fun, man, if you ever want to drop me a question, you can always drop it in the comments. You know, we'll read them and we'll try and answer them in the live, which then will end up here on YouTube. So hey, baby, if you want to ask it direct, if you want to have a chance to talk to me, make sure you check us out on the live. In the meantime, here goes episode 12. I love you, baby. I'll see you tomorrow. What's up, baby? How you living? I was trying to put that comment from the side this whole time, it wouldn't let me. What's good, gang? How you living? How y'all enjoying y'all's Monday? What's up, Rod? Hope you're having the best day of your life. I am. I really, truly feel like I am. Like, not even on some gas today. Like, I had a really, really good day. Back up. I had a really good day, man. Like, a lot of great things happened today. Yeah, it was just good. Good vibrations. I got to see Danielle. She's in town, so that was really cool. Maud's sister. Yeah, it was just a good vibey day, man. Now we're on a daily grind. I got a couple good questions in that I totally forgot to write down. So today is Q&A day. Can you do that for me, Matt, please? Today is Q&A day. So I got a couple questions from you guys. And oh, that's right. Hold up. Never mind. We're good. We're good. I forgot. They got the little feature here in Instagram. So, yeah, so I got them right here. Never mind. I got them right here. And I can show it on the screen so you guys can see it when I answer it. That's fucking dope. We're going to make total use of that every single week. So anyways, I hope everybody's been staying up with the RTP challenge, doing all 3 steps, 1, 2, and 3. Been seeing, like, I love it. I love it. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I'll probably never stop. I'll just this will be like, just what I do every day with the rest of my life. Like, something about them gratitudes, man. There's something about those gratitude affirmations that just plants a seed in your mind. You can tell while I was wearing a hoodie today and my hair is a mess. But, yeah, it's something about that subconscious, man. And I got some great topics in line for the rest of the week, as you can say. We're going to talk a little bit about vibrational scale this week. So, you know, we're talking about, like, how is, like, one's frequency, like, what are the actual frequencies of vibration and what's a very low vibration as compared to what a very high vibration is. And then also going to talk about the subconscious mind, right? About, like, a cool, like, analogy of, like, what the subconscious mind is like and what it's up to and, like, how do we, like, communicate with that little mind inside of our mind. And then another topic that I put up for the week was what creates our vibe, like what essentially is our, like we talk about like the different levels of a vibe, but what goes into creating our vibrations. What are the fundamentals of time management? Oh, that's a good question. I'm definitely going to put that one down. Sorry guys, I have a terrible cough. Some of y'all know, actually this happened to me like 3 times now, like every day I've gone live. Dude, ever since I quit smoking, like my lungs are just like trying to get all this stuff out, and it's been kind of miserable, but getting through it, staying strong. I'm like, this is my 8th day smoke free, baby. Loving it. Really haven't even noticed, man. Really just, I think this is the season this time. Like this is what we've been practicing for. You know, a lot of you guys know I've tried to quit multiple times, but this one feels great. Man, this one feels good. It feels like not even difficult. It feels like I said, like when you've practiced 1,000 times and then you actually go to play a game, like it's not like it's hard, you know, like if you shot a basketball 1,000 times, you know what you're doing. So that's kind of how I feel. Like I've tried to quit so many times that I'm like a pro at this shit now. And I feel like I got a good grip. But with all that being said, I'm gonna get right into y'all's questions, man. I got a couple questions from the gang, and then if you can think of any questions or if you have any questions, just like my boy Nice Chris did, you can drop them right there in the comments. So first one up comes from my girl Toodle Doodle Noodle, and she says, how to stay motivated like when you slacking in the morning, like when you're lacking that spunk in the morning. How do you stay motivated throughout the day, right? Well, I love this question because first, fundamentally, y'all know how I feel about the spunk, right? Like that spunk that she's talking about, that good ass like feeling, you'd be like, damn, I'm about to fuck this day up. Like, you know, like sometimes I remember, it's like on and off for me. Like I remember back in the day, like I hated my days. You know, like the alarm clock would go off and I would be like, fuck. You know, I remember that. I remember just being like every morning, like just being like, fuck, I don't want to do this. You know, I was in Afghanistan for a long time. Even before that, I was in the military. Like, yeah, alarm clock goes off. Sometimes your feet hit the floor, and you're just like, I don't want to do this today. But I have not experienced that feeling in quite a long time now. Like, there's like it's been a good I mean, you know, I have a sprinkle here and there where I knew that like I had to do something that day that I wasn't particularly interested in doing. But a day where I was like, man, like I'm not feeling spicy or I'm not feeling excited, hasn't come. Why, right? How do I find that spunk about 95% of my mornings? It's engineered, right? Like the spunk is something that you must create. It is like without that spunk, it really is hard to stay motivated. You know, like I think everything that I do, and I talk about like how I get my success, is predicated on my morning routine. You know, and like how I start my morning every morning with the meditation. You know, every morning I try and hit the gym, try and eat something healthy, try and study something. Like these things are it's very, very fundamental in the how I like start the vibration of my day. It's just like if you think about like maybe if you're starting up a car or like starting up a building for the day, like if you don't turn all the lights on, you know what I mean? Like if you don't get everything functioning properly and in alignment with the way that you want to feel early in the morning, it's just hard to carry that motivation. You know, if you start on a low vibration of like, man, this day sucks, or I don't want to do this or whatever, and you ground all your intentions in that low vibrational state, then that's kind of how you'll manifest a lot throughout the day, is from that low vibrational state. So the thing about that though is, like I said, your state is fully within your control. You know, like you can always do things to influence how you feel, right? Sometimes, like I said, sometimes I might not feel like up to the challenge today of like what I have to do. But then I really, like I said, like get into my mindset during my meditation and try and instill some of those those affirmations that I need today to really motivate or inspire me. Or maybe like I'll wake up and I'm kind of dragging ass, and then so I'm like more inspired to like go take a cold shower, you know? But sometimes we fall into the vibration, we feel the vibration of like, man, I'm not feeling it today, or I really don't got my spunk going. And then we just sit there though, like you know, like the spunk was like just didn't show up today, so we don't get no spunk. Or, you know what I mean? Or we don't get no fire or passion or whatever. It's really not like that. Like I said, the inspiration, you cultivate that inside of you. You have to grow that. You have to like, you know, manifest that essentially. So it's just like with inspiration. People talk about like writers and like stuff, and they'll be like, well, I get writer's block. Well, the joke that goes all around writers and stuff is like, you don't get plumber's block. Like people don't like, you know, have a hard time like, I don't know, I bus driver block, you know, like, but all of a sudden writers like act like creativity doesn't come sometimes, right? Like inspiration comes out of you. Same thing with your vibe, your energy, all comes from you. So you're in charge of that. If you're not feeling that spunk, you got to get in there and do something to get yourself revved up. That might be a meditation. Maybe that's, you know, maybe you just need to retreat or step back, or maybe, like I said, you got to do some gratitude affirmations or, you know, whatever you feel like you got to do to really get that stuff vibrating on 10. But what you can't do is you can't expect for it to show up for you, right? You have to make it. You have to create that feeling, that state in your subconscious or in your mind. You can't just like I said, wait for the outside stimulus to kind of spark you or motivate you. That's just my take on that. So how do I stay motivated? Like when I'm lacking the spunk in the morning, I make sure I cultivate that spunk every morning. And it gets easier, guys. The more you get into a routine, the more you start to just like do it, it's like natural. Like, you know, like when I wake up, the first thing I think is like, oh cool, I gotta do my meditation. And then as soon as I do my meditation, I work out. By the time I'm done with the meditation and working out and then moving on to like my personal hygiene and like making breakfast, I'm in a pretty good state by then, you know, like you get to like exercising, huffing and puffing and like trust me, you're gonna be in a pretty good state. And then like I said, it's like a trigger. Like once those two things happen, I'm like, yeah, let's go. Okay, how do you deal with being addicted to being dope? And what could young dopers like young Mikey Rose himself do? This is really funny. You know, I don't know so much. I'm not as dope as you are. I've actually never been cursed with the dopeness. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm still trying to learn how to be dope or what the whole doping situation really is. But I do encourage you guys to go check out Mikey Rose's new content on his YouTube. It's been so funny, man. He's been doing skits. He does like, obviously he's always had banging music, so he layers his music in, and he's just cool. He's just vlogging. It's just so much good content. It's so interesting, it's so funny. He like makes beats and shit. He's a pretty dope guy, you know what I mean? He's pretty dope. Bro, I gotta say though, when you did that 1-800-DOPE boy get it popping all day and night, so I'm saying, nigga, oh my god, bro. Oh my god, let me tell you something, Mikey. I was scream laughing it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. So I have a guilty pleasure. This is something I do that is part of my morning routine that I've been trying to like kind of fix. But I usually wake up and like while I'm making my coffee, I get sucked up into a little bit of Instagram. So sometimes you'll see me like before I do meditations or anything, I'd be like kind of scrolling through stories or like looking at the feed. It's just because we're addicted to it, you know what I mean? Like we can't help it. Like, you know, like it's like a crack, you know? So like you wake up and you're like, let me see what's going on in the crack world, you know, so you get some crack in. But I nonetheless, I'm sitting there making coffee and I'm scrolling through and I see your shit. And then like, oh my God, I was in the stories. I watched it like 3 times. I was like, Mac, you got this 1-800-DOPE boy get it poppin', know what I'm saying? Check it out, guys. Mikey Rose, he's a good guy. Okay, another serious question coming from Beautiful. Is she in here? Oh, she made it. Either way, I don't think she's here, but nonetheless, it's a great question. And the one question I was most excited to talk about today, if she's not here, you know where to find them. They be on the YouTube. We'll have this one up in a couple of days. What is the most difficult thing you have ever had to go through in your life, and how did you overcome it? Most difficult thing that I've ever been through and how to overcome it. Okay, so obviously I've been through, hey Casey, oh man, I was just thinking about you the other day. I'm so glad that you made it in here today. How are you? I just wanted you to know I was thinking about you, and I noticed that I hadn't seen you in a while. We've been going dailies, and so I was just hoping you're doing okay. I just wanted you to know that I'm thinking about you. Nonetheless, most difficult situation I've ever been in my entire life. Okay. Y'all know me, I don't like to, oh, look at this, right on time. I was just about to answer your question, baby. Just about to go in. I don't usually talk about a lot about my struggles, especially from the past. So I've been getting into lately, I decided I was going to be a lot more transparent with my content. I wanted to come every day, no matter what. Like back in the day, it was just, you know, only come with the good, only, you know, really, if you had something nice to say or whatever, like the vibrations. If I wasn't really feeling like I could give positive energy out or something, or if I couldn't be of an influence, then I was just like, well, I'll just, you know, check out for like a week or, you know, whatever, stay out of it. Now I just decided like, maybe it's more beneficial to the grind gang if I work through my things in real time so they can see how I go about like maintaining this type of, because it's not easy and it's not automatic, you know, it is, you do have to work, you know, you do have to put in energy and strategies sometimes to really get like, you know, the best mindset possible. So, I don't talk a lot about my past. Why? If you were in yesterday's live, which I hope a lot of you were, right? We talked about that, like negative shit. I said, what do you do with negative shit? I just get rid of it. I just ignore it. I just pretend like it doesn't exist. You know, like there's no point in me, like the health problems that I dealt with in my past, I abolished them from my subconscious, like mind. Not me. Just, I don't know. Just not me. I don't know what to tell you. So it was another guy. Some other guy who was a different guy. He was sick. But for the sake of this, we're going to talk about it. And I actually did tell y'all this story. In 2013, 14, about 2013-ish, right? Got extremely sick. Got really, really sick. I have eczema, dermatitis. I had eczema my whole life. So from the day I was born, had asthma and eczema. And so I got like pretty bad itchy skin whole life, but no big deal, you know, it's just itchy skin. It's not really that hard to deal with. But in the military, they started giving me, like, one day I went to the doctor and I was like, yo, my eczema's kind of been fucking with me a little, like, bad. And they were like, oh, well, we got the perfect stuff for you. Here, try this cream. They gave me this cream, and this cream was called Triamcinolone. And I say that name because it's a steroid cream. So if anybody's ever heard of steroid creams, is using a steroid cream, anything that has to do with steroid creams, please pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. And I hope that that influences your decision to use them in the future. So they gave me this thing, but because the military is just like the military, they're like, here, take some of this and you'll be all right, get out there. So I was like, all right, cool. So they gave me that and I just ran away. Well, I started using it and it made my skin like amazing. Like it fixed everything. It was like I never even had a problem. And so I was like, oh my God, like this is my you know, I was just like, it changed my whole life, you know? And so for like 3 or 4 years, for like the rest of my military career, pretty much I was just using this cream all the time. Every day, get out of the shower, put this cream on, put my lotion on. That was life, and it was cool, and it was great, and I never had any problems. Then I got out of the military. And so once I got out of the military, I moved to Austin, and as soon as I moved to Austin, things started to get bad. Like my skin started to get really itchy, like really itchy. And I would like start to feel like it was just starting to get like bad. And I was like, man, I've been noticing my skin's getting itchy a lot lately. I don't know what's going on. You know, it's starting to like get irritated and stuff. I thought it was because I had changed places and weather and stuff like that, you know? And so I didn't know. Well, come to find out what was happening was I started to have this thing called topical steroid withdrawal. And so if you've been using topical steroids for a while or something, you've been putting that stuff on your skin becomes addicted to it, right? Like it literally like needs it in order to do what it does on a daily basis, right? Like, I don't know, it just needs it. And so a lot like a heroin addict or any kind of other drug addict, like what do they usually do if you got a heroin addict and they've been doing heroin for 3 straight years and you just take their heroin away from them? Well, they freak the fuck out, you know what I mean? They're gonna freak the fuck out. They're on a mental, and so that's what my skin did. It just freaked the fuck out. I'm talking like, it would started to split apart and started to leak this really nasty, smelly, pussy stuff. Okay, I'm talking real, I know it's gross, guys, I'm sorry, but she asked. Worst thing I've ever been through. It got so dry. It was like, it's just incredibly dry. And so I started this weird cycle. And if you want to learn more about it, or you want to see pictures or something, you just look up topical steroid withdrawal. But your skin would go through this cycle. It's like shedding. You literally shed like a snake. Like my skin would get all raw and gross and icky and itchy and just, I don't know how to explain it, but imagine if I just set you on fire right now. So that's how it felt. If I just set your whole body on fire, that's how it felt. And then it would dry up. So after all that stuff with pussins, it would dry up, crusty as fuck, and then it would shed off me. Like literally like chunks of skin, like guys, I'm telling you, man, you don't even know. I'll tell you what, but I'll tell you this. The people that I've known that are the most enlightened people that I've ever found in my lifetime tend to have suffered the most, right? Your suffering is your blessing. You know what I mean? Like this suffering that I went through, that I'm just taking a break now to shed a little bit on the positive light, is why I am the person I am today. Without this suffering experience that I'm speaking of right now, I would have never been able to do the examination of my life and of reality in the way that I did, right? So anyways, I'm just telling you, like, suffering takes you to a very low place where you have to really depend on something that is not physical. And once that thing that you have to depend on that is not physical, it kind of rescues you from that, you gain a kind of different understanding of the way things work. And so, and plus, most of the time, like, people who are, you know now, who are like the happiest people you've ever met, or the most, like I said again, the enlightened people, like, ask them. They'll tell you it came from my darkest hour. You know what I mean? Like, usually that's when you find the light, is like right after you like hit rock bottom, right? Something that drains your soul from you. Like, you have something that drains your soul from you. And so that's what this disease did to me. It took my life from me. I could not leave the house. I could not do anything for months. It was just this painful cycle of my skin falling off, essentially, and then just regrowing and falling off and regrowing and falling off. And I mean, guys, I lost my eyebrows. So I just suffered in every way imaginable. Like, this is where I lost any idea of ego. Like, I couldn't, dude, I was the ugliest motherfucker ever. Like, imagine losing your whole face, like your whole face just slumped, looking like you know, like this. and it's all puffy and swollen and leaking, and you're, it's nothing. And what are you gonna do now? People are gonna look at you. They're gonna, whoa, look at this guy. You know what I mean? So you learn to kind of like deal with that and cope with that stuff. And so it was miserable, guys, for years. Now I'll do you one better. God, I feel so depressing right now. I'm so sorry. I promise you, I'm gonna take you down this road, and then I'm gonna bring light at the end of this tunnel. I swear to God. I swear to God, I'm gonna bring light to the end of this tunnel. Okay. But I think this is important. I'm just going to use this one time to talk about it as deep as I can. So we started getting broke as fuck. I wasn't working for months, years. My girl's in here. She can testify to this. So I wasn't making any money. I was going through, you know how much Aquaphor? You know those big jars of Aquaphor? Those things are like $20. I was going through one of those a day. Right? So, I mean, I'm talking like, I was hemorrhaging money on this disease, like it was just bad. And so we were getting to the point where we couldn't pay rent and this and that, and the universe is always there for you. Always there for you. My friend, one of my friends from the military came through my house, he came to visit me. And it was just random, I hadn't seen him in months or anything, and he just came by and he was like, yo, I'm going to Afghanistan. And I was like, wow, good luck with that, And I was just starting to get a little bit healthier. Like healthy enough that I could leave the house sometimes or go do something, but I wasn't by any means healthy. But nonetheless, I was healthy enough I felt like I was going to try and claim some parts of my life back. But he was like, yo, I'm going to go to Afghanistan. And I was like, well, you have fun with that. He was like, yeah, they're paying $10,000 a month or something. And I was like, well, what the fuck? What'd you just say? You say 10? All right, hold up. I'll be right back and look at my bags. So I was like, so after he said that, I was like, bro, give me the phone number. So I called the recruiters, and I got this job, right? And mostly, like I said, I was just like, I got to do something now. This is going to do it. This is going to solve our problems real quick. So I'm going to go to Afghanistan. I get to Afghanistan, and immediately once I get there, my skin regressed back to step one. So I fell back to excruciating pain and misery, and I would have to work these 12, 13-hour days in the sun of you know what I mean? I can't imagine. It was torture. It was physical torture. Not only did I have the skin disease, but then I contracted MRSA too, the most deadly infectious infection of all time. So now not only was I dealing with all those things, but I would get these gigantic infections that I can't even explain to you, gaping holes in my legs and body, right? And they would just pop up all over the place. And I would cry myself to sleep on numerous occasions. It was suffering on this weird eternal level that you guys, it'll break you. I cry. Have you ever had to stop and just scream at the sky? Somebody, anybody, please make this stop. That kind of, some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Some people have been through this level of suffering. Some people haven't, that's okay. I never started to try and say we've all suffered. Suffering is suffering, People always try to do that, well, mine was worse, or you don't know how bad mine was. Look, whatever the worst shit that happened to you is about as worse as this happened to me, right? We only know the most extreme pain that we've been through. And I do love to add perspective and look and be well, that does seem a lot worse. And then that makes you feel better, but just know that we've all been here at this point where I was, but this is how it felt for me. And I was screaming, and I was just I remember you start making that, you do. You'd be like, God, I don't know, Jewish God, any God, some God, somebody's God, please fucking help me. If you help me, I promise you, I'll do whatever the fuck you want. You know what I mean? I'll pray, I'll do it. I'll be, man, you don't know. And from that prayer though, little did I know that I would be shown how to help myself, how to really get out of that. When I was in that time, this is where I learned about the law of attraction. And so I got really sick and wasn't really thinking about it, but then I started thinking, I was like, okay, well maybe I can use this law of attraction shit to get healthy. I was already trying my best, but I just, I was like a rookie. I literally had just learned about it, and then I was sick as fuck. So I was the last thing you want to hear is, oh, I'm gonna think my way out of this, But I did, and I remember laying there, and the first thing I was doing was trying to win the lottery and shit, But then I started really thinking about how do I use these ideas and this mindset to influence this situation. Maybe they're right. Maybe there is no fucking God out here that's gonna help me. Maybe I already have this power, and I gotta figure out how to use it. And so I went on this journey of like just studying and just learning and just, like I said, every day trying to fight against that situation with my mind. You know, rather than coming out every day and crying and y'all don't understand how hard it is for me and I'm like, I can't and this and that. You know, some days it's hard and some days I wanted to quit, but I fought and I just tried and I stayed and I invested faith into it. Anyways, my point is, here I am. Here I am. Look at my beautiful face. Look at this thing. Like, you can see right here. Look right here. You see how that's all kind of like crusty and stuff, right? That's it for me. Like, that's all that I have left, pretty much. It's just like that little patches. I got a little patch right here on my foot, but it's gone. And now let me tell you something. It's not like I knew that this would heal. People tell you, like they told you online, they're just like, yo, it's like the way to heal yourself is you have to withdraw from it. And it could take months, it could take years. Nobody knows how long it'll take. It all depends on the strength of the creams you used and how, long you use them or whatever. So I knew that the potential to get better was there, but I did not know how long it would take or what it would look like or how it would get there. Guys, let me tell you something though. What did that teach me? Is that you are so much stronger than you could ever even begin to possibly fathom. The only way you'll ever find out is once you're tested in that way. So you're like, right now, you're just like an infinite elastic little piece of putty. And you can stretch like infinity. You can stretch infinity. And I know like every time you get stretched, you'd be like, there's no way I can stretch any further than this. But trust me, something will grab you and it'll pull you, and then you'll stretch, and you'll be like, oh my God, this is it. I'm gonna die. Like there's no way I can get through this. There's just absolutely no way. And then you'll get MRSA, and then it'll pull you even deeper. And you'll be like, oh my God, how is this even, like, what is this? And eventually you get pulled so much, and you just fight through that, and then you snap your ass back, and then you start realizing like, damn, I got stretched pretty fucking far, and like, you know what I mean? That just changes the way that you view your situation, your life, your spirit. Not only that, but the thing that I think people lack the most right now, the why that they have such a hard time finding happiness, is we lack perspective. Is we don't understand the beauty of just the moments that we have, right? Like we are not seeing the idea of life as an experience. Like we're looking at life as some kind of weird burden. We've turned life into a burden of like, you gotta do this, and you gotta make this, and you gotta be here, and it's shit's gotta get done, and you gotta be this, and you gotta go. Life is a motherfucking experience. Like the fact that you opened your eyes today is a fucking miracle. It's insane. You know how many sperm you beat to be here? Trillions. The odds of being a person are so imaginable. And you know what we do with that? You know what we do with that great gift? We stress about a parking ticket. We'll stress about losing $60. We'll stress about being 10 pounds overweight. What does that even mean? What does 10 pounds overweight mean? Over what weight? Over where? You see what I'm saying though? But like, the thing that I really truly honestly feel is plaguing our society right now and us as human minds is a lack of perspective, of understanding just how glorious and beautiful your moments are, right? And so, you know what'll put that into perspective for you? You know what really narrows in that focus for you? When something fucking takes that shit away from you. I tell you, there's no faster way of learning what's important to you until it's gone, right? When you turn around and the things that you love so dearly, that you did not appreciate, every day that went by that you didn't fucking care about, every relationship that you had that you shit on. But let me tell you something, when something in life will do this to you. Let me serve this as a warning for you, I promise you. You ever hear about like, sometimes you gotta have some pain come in your life for growth or change? Right, sometimes the universe gotta kick you in the fucking ass for you to make some kind of move, because we just don't pay attention. We're just not watching. We just don't care. And so they're like, oh, it tries to whisper. It's like, hey man, I wouldn't do that if I were you. And you just be like, you don't even hear it the first time. And the universe again be like, hey man, I really wouldn't do that if I were you. You know, like I would really change the way I believe it. Oh, okay, fine. Let me tell you something, bitch. Bow! You know, like now what? You pay attention now? You know what I'm saying? Like they do something to shake you up. And that's what happened to me, man. The universe shook me up. And what was I gonna say? I got so excited about getting shook up, man. I took y'all all the way to the top and then I left y'all here. My point is though, I don't know, but sometimes it's just gonna happen. That's the point. It's just gonna happen, and you have to like just hold on and be resilient and understand that like, you know, it's a process. The universe got your back. You know what I mean? It's not gonna it's not gonna take you to a place that you can't handle. It's not gonna take you to a place that you can't handle. That's all I know. That's all I'm saying. And so you learn, you get slapped in the face. You grow, change, be adaptive. Oh, stay focused, right? Stay present, because that's what I'm saying. If people don't pay attention, the universe sometimes puts us in painful situations so that we'll grow, right? But you can grow through Satori or Kensho, right? There's two different types of like, there's this thing called Satori, like learning through Satori, which is like inspirational learning, right? That's what you're doing here. That's what you do when you go out in the world and you seek knowledge or you seek understanding or you seek perspective. Like we just talked about, like when you go out in the world and you examine your life against other people's lives and you see all the beauty that you have, right? And you take time for gratitude, right? That's inspirational learning. That's you just going out. But if you don't inspirational learn, sometimes you learn through what's called Kensho, which is like I just said, the universe is pan. Sometimes I gotta lay a lot out and be like, oh, you don't want to listen. Okay, like what do we do when kids don't listen? Oh, you don't listen, huh? All right, I got something for that. You don't listen. Come here. About to spank you. If you're a corporal punishment person, you about to spank them. If you're like I'm about to take something away from you now, teach you a lesson. You don't like to listen? All right, I'm about to take something from you. The universe is the same way. The universe is like, oh, you don't want to listen? Oh, okay, cool. About to take something from you. And that's what happened. It took my day. Like it took that. So you know what Mad always talks about like if you woke up, you got a reason to celebrate. Well, that's how I felt, man. I woke up for months in that bed with no life, no place to go, nothing to look forward to but pain or misery. And so now that I get just even a chance to, like I said, put my shoes on today, God damn it, like y'all don't even understand. Sometimes when I get to see the sun and I wake up and I feel the sun on my skin, I just be like, fuck, this day is amazing. Like you don't even get, like y'all don't even know. It's so easy for me. I listen to people complain and I'm just like, the fact that you even think that this is a problem right now is mind-boggling. Like, I can't even fathom. I can't even fathom anymore, right? Not because I'm better than you, not because I'm smarter than anybody, right? But it's just, like, I have a different perspective. Like, I've had my whole life stripped from me. And so, I'm just telling you, if you're somebody now, or if you ever find yourself facing, I hope my words ring true to you in your ears. Like, this was a 3-year journey, a 3-year battle that I went on that at the end of, I feel powerful, I feel so much stronger, I feel like grateful for that experience, you know? I tell you, you're never grateful in the moment, but trust me, you will be when you get through it. You will, because you'll be better then. You'll be so much of a different person then, you know, so much stronger. And the test is what you need, like, you know, you need that test. But just know that, I do believe in that Satori Kensho thing, like, if you're trying to avoid Kensho in your life, which we all are, like, we don't like pain, you don't have to have it. Like, trust me, you can learn and you can grow a lot through just inspirational learning. You know, the way I see it is like I don't like to have to let the universe get involved. I like to make sure I'm, you know, policing up my own life, policing up my own vibes, keeping everything in line and in check and happy and positive and vibrating. So that way that it doesn't have to get involved and doesn't have to like mold my path or send me down a route to, you know, teach me something I don't, you know, want to have to do. But yeah, I love you guys, and thanks for sticking with me on that whole little journey. That was fun and exciting, and I told you I was really looking forward to answering that question today, because it's just something I don't address. Like I said, now that I got it, you know, I'm good. Like I let that go, you know, I let that go. So like Elena said, let it go, you can beat it. And trust me, you can stretch. All right, cool. Last question from X-Dar. It's already 35 minutes in, but we'll do it because it's Monday and I love y'all. How do you bring peace to the mind and the soul? Damn! You might as well ask me where life comes from. You might as well ask me where life comes from. Brother, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this very, like, flat, first and foremost. The only person There's only one person in this entire universe that can answer that question for you. That's you. You know it. You know what I mean? Like, I could never tell you what will bring peace to your mind and your soul. I just don't know. I don't know. This brings it to mind. You know, coming out here and sharing my knowledge, being around other people who inspire me and motivate me, that does it for me. Staying in control of my vision, you know, like just always kind of making sure I'm looking like 10 steps forward into my life. And I feel like I have a plan and like and you know what I mean, like a direction that gives me a lot of peace. And then faith, you know, like just believing in that plan that I have, so that, you know, I feel like, again, like not only do I have purpose, but my purpose is going to lead me to the place that I want to go. And so I think it's that foresight, that planning, and then, like I said, that cultivating. But you know, it's such an individual process. You know, everybody has a Dharma, I think. You have karma and you have Dharma, and they're very interesting correlating principles. But Dharma is like destiny. You know, Dharma is like, there's this idea that you have a perfect, like you came to this place to do something. You know, like the fact that we're sitting here right now is not an accident. And I believe in that. You know, like I'm personally a believer in that. Like that it all works too perfectly. You know, like everything works all in coordinates and sync with each other. It's like a system. And so I definitely think you fit into that system. Same thing like your body. Like your heart does a very specific purpose. It's not like your heart just accidentally showed up to just sit in your, like nothing in your body right now just sits there and does nothing, right? Like every single thing, every organ you have, every cell you have, every fucking thing that I look around in this world has a purpose. So I believe that we're no different as a species, as a person, as an individual. You have some type of purpose. You have free will though, you know, you have choice. So you can live in that, or you can just go do whatever the fuck you want to. But I think that when you live in that, like, not only does the universe bless you, but you just feel naturally good. Like you just feel naturally like, damn, like I'm on point. You know, like this is it. Like I'm in the pocket. That's what I call it. I'm in the pocket. Like when I'm in the like right now, over the last like 11 or 12 days doing daily grinds every day, and us like talking about expanding my content, all that, I feel super in the pocket. You know, like I feel super at peace, super just like, yep, this is it. This is right. This is right where I need to be right now. Do I have everything I want? God no. But right now, I feel like exactly where I need to be on my journey, on where I'm trying to go. You know? So I hope that answer helps even just a little bit.
I have a little tidbit.
Ooh, go ahead. We got 5% on the battery life.
5% on the battery life. So, I just posted this in my Instagram yesterday, I think it was. But Marcus Aurelius has a quote, and it says, if you seek tranquility, do less. And I think what that means is basically just, I'd question you, when was the last time you just sat down and thought about who you were and what you really wanted, and like didn't, you know, rely on all these influences to be like, hey, that'd be cool, I wouldn't mind having that. But like to really sit down and think, like, what kind of person do I want to be? Like, what kind of person would have a peaceful soul and mind? And then you can kind of start to build yourself into that. So yeah, I think that if you just sit down and kind of like play with that question yourself, like you said, you know, I don't have the answers for you, he don't got the answers, nobody got the answers for you. So you're really gonna have to ask yourself that question. And then you can't have any distractions. You just got to sit there and just be quiet and
the answer's alone to you. Yes, that's it.
Because the universe knows that you want the answer, and it's gonna
beam me right into it. Beam me right into it. I'm telling you, dude. If you ask yourself a question right now, any question you want, you're gonna come up with an answer. Something in your mind's gonna answer you. Now you might not believe in the answer. Like you might be like, "Wow, that's not it. That's not right." But it's gonna come up with an answer. And if it doesn't come up with an answer, keep asking. The more you ask yourself the question, like I'm telling you, it'll answer it. So what I do all the time, and I appreciate you guys coming on here and doing, is asking yourself healthy questions. You know, asking me healthy questions like that. Like how does one find peace in their mind and soul? That's a beautiful question. The one that I ask myself every day, right? The more that my mind helps me construct an answer for every day. But the fact that you're even thinking about it that's the name of the game, buddy. That's it right there. That's consciousness. You know, that's me actively being aware of what peace is, what love feels like to me, right? I love you so much, guys. Thank you so much for just spending, you know, a little bit of your time on Monday with me. I hope it was valuable. I hope you learned a little something. I had a great time. It was cool telling that story that I never get to tell, but I feel like a champion. I'm telling you guys, man, I beat that shit. Fucking beat that shit, man. I beat that shit, and I'll tell y'all how. Trust me, I'll tell you. I'll give you all the secrets. I give you all the secrets. And we're gonna keep grinding, baby. Stay with the RTP challenge. Do the daily affirmations. You know, shout somebody out. Show some love to somebody else. But you know, make sure you're setting an intention. Make sure you're working on something every day. Maybe it's your music. Maybe it's your art. Maybe it's your poetry. Maybe it's, you know, being a cooler guy. Maybe it's just being stronger. I don't know what kind of growth you're looking for, but you can have it this month. That's what this month's all about. That's what the RTP challenge is about. It's about creating growth in a very specific area in our lives so that we can kind of just test this, you know, see how it works. I love y'all so much. Hey, stay on the lookout. I'm about to launch the official Grind Gang. It's coming, along with Grind Gang chains and all kinds of other stuff. I love you guys. Peace.